Imagine being a AAA billion-dollar company. Imagine delaying the release date of the highly acclaimed Battlefield 2042 2 to 3 times. Imagine selling the game even though you damn well knew it was not ready. Selling it for $70 plus depending on the different editions that you sold. And then imagine not coming out with legitimate patches to support the game at launch. And then on top of all of that, imagine now making the game free to play because of the shit show that it is. What's going on, everybody? Cryptix, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about, man. Battlefield 2042. It's a complete disaster. I am a little late to the party on the free-to-play news, but if you were fans of the channel or you watched my videos, you would know about 5 months ago I made a video saying that this game was in trouble because of the delays and because of the gameplay footage that we did see, on top of the beta that was an utter disaster as well. Now, of course, drop a like, subscribe. If you are wondering what gameplay, I am playing Battlefront 2 on the PC. It's a modded version of Battlefront 2, and it's on this like server called Kyber. Now, let's just get into the video, right? So, basically, Battlefield 2042 was, again, delayed 2 to 3 times. We all knew that that was not a good sign to begin with. And then, you know, the game became an utter disaster at launch. There were input lags. There were, simply put, server issues on the day one, I guess, version of the release. And it was just terrible in terms of the way this game was handled on day one, basically. And a lot of people, and I think this is a common theme with a lot of video games, the release date is the most important time for a video game. Those first 2 weeks from release until that like 2-week time period after the release is like your golden point. You need to be able to support the game, make sure that it runs smoothly as a developer and as a company as a whole. And then on top of all of that, you need to make sure that, you know, there is enough content in the game in order for you to facilitate the popularity of it, right? A lot of games nowadays, especially because you can come out with these online patches, a lot of games come with bare bones content. Now, Battlefield 2042, even during the beta version of this game, was terrible because of the lag and things like that, and I believe you were only able to play one game mode on the beta, and then the full game came out, and you were able to play Rush and Portal. Those are like the two main modes. I believe there's different modes as well, but Rush and the Portal version of like the different game modes, which Portal is, you're able to play like Battlefield maps from Battlefield 2 Bad Company. You were able to play like, you know, certain maps with Battlefield 3 and 4, I believe. And all in all, like the Portal version is probably the most popular at this point in time. But I'll show some screenshots on the screen. Battlefield 2042 has an all-time peak that is not even close to like Battlefield 5, which is like the other previous iteration of the Battlefield franchise. And if you look even at the concurrent players, there is more people playing Battlefield 5 than Battlefield 2042 right now. So again, bare bones content, there's hardly any modes to play, and on top of that, there's lag. And that's what's got a lot of people basically not into this game at all, because it is not a finished product whatsoever. And again, this is a common theme that we're seeing in a lot of different video games, right? The other thing that really just ticks me off, and it's something, again, that I've seen in like, you know, other video games like Cyberpunk, like, you know, even like NBA 2K and Madden, and even Call of Duty for that matter, there is so little content on that release date, and they try to make it look like they're adding content into the game with season passes or, you know, seasons in general, or just like a roadmap, right? We've seen that time and time again where, the company is saying, oh, we're going to release X and Y mode in 2 months after the game comes out, in 3 months after the game comes out, so forth and so on. And that's also just adding to the pile. It's just another layer as to why Battlefield 2042 is an utter failure and a joke, right? Because they only really have 2 popular modes for you to play. But even if you try to hop into those, popular modes, there is so much gameplay lag, stuttering, and bugs and slash glitches that it's not even enjoyable to play those modes to begin with. Now, Battlefield, to my knowledge, has a roadmap coming, and they're trying to add additional maps, different modes, things like that. But the issue again stands, and this is a point that I've already made, you really have like 2 weeks to really make your mark with a game. And if it, launches terribly, people are going to tune out and not even purchase your product. Which then leads me to where we are now, which is EA, Electronic Arts, the, I guess, company that, owns this Battlefield franchise, is now deciding, or I guess not officially deciding, but is thinking about making this game free to play. Now, I feel bad for the people that purchased this game. I don't know if they're going to refund the people that purchased it, but making the game free to play as a whole, I don't think is going to happen. If anything, they might make, certain modes free to play so they can up their numbers so you can be, I guess, more enticed to purchase the product. But the issue here still stands in terms of gameplay. Let's say I downloaded a free-to-play version of Battlefield 2042, right? Let's say Portal was the mode. This is all hypothetical, right? But EA is thinking about making, a certain, I guess, set of modes, or maybe 1 or 2 modes of Battlefield 2042 free-to-play. Let's say I download that. Let's say Portal is the mode that I'm able to play on Battlefield 2042. I, log on to the game, EA gets their, +1 as me as a concurrent user or a player, right? And then I'm playing it and I get lagged out, or there's a server malfunction, or I lose a gunfight simply because of the lag in the game, right? I'm going to be even less inclined now to purchase the full product of Battlefield 2042 because of my bad experience with the free-to-play version of the game. It's that simple. It is a checkmate, so to speak, in terms of the consumer versus, EA, consumer versus Battlefield 2042. Even if the game does come out free in some way, shape, or form with a certain mode, the gameplay is still pretty damn bad, right? And especially on consoles. I've seen so many issues on consoles in terms of, server lag, input lag, just flat out getting kicked from games on console that I wouldn't even think about getting it on the console. But even on PC with the most high-end hardware, I've still seen lag, which is just, there's no excuse, right? Because the highest form of hardware that we have right now is exponentially better than the consoles, meaning that the game is simply not optimized for any of the platforms that Battlefield 2042 is selling for right now. There is no way this game succeeds unless there is a legitimate patch making sure that gameplay runs smoothly most of the time, if not all of the time, right? So yeah, free to play, I don't think it's gonna work because the gameplay is pretty bad, and it will just further solidify people's points about how bad the experience is on Battlefield 2042 right now. So that's pretty much what I had to say, man. This is just an utter joke. I think the devs, I think the company as a whole, either A, need to do certain things, hire more people to optimize the game better, or the company itself needs to give more leeway in terms of a release date for some of these games. Battlefield 2042, although there is, a lot of critiques with the map sizes and open space, right? It's still a lot of, optimizing. There's a lot of polygons on the map, meaning you need more development power. You need more devs to do that type of thing. And, you know, you're not going to be able to release a game like this to this magnitude of these sizes of maps, right, in like 2 years' time. I think on top of that, with like ray tracing and the graphical improvements that we're seeing on some of this next gen stuff, again, they either A, need to hire more developers, or they need to give more time for these developers to make games of this magnitude, right? I know people don't like to wait, but this is where we're at right now with an unfinished product, and a product that I wish was actually a great one, right? So I hope you all did enjoy this video. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, comment down below what you think about this situation, and I hope you all did enjoy. I'm Cryptix, definitely not buying this game anytime soon, and signing off.